Alrighty, tidy guys. So welcome back here. Change of scenery just a little bit. We're actually still in the same spot. I'm still in the Airbnb. I'm still in Peniche. This is the second to last day. But guys, okay, today was really the small cap, or no, wait, that's wrong. Small position size killer kind of day. We just like yesterday. We reduced our position size after having a red Monday, having a red Tuesday, both of which were small red days, but I was making constantly big mistakes or little mistakes because my position size was too high. So today I was like, not going to happen. I reduced my position size, or yesterday I said that, and boom, we're just taking a lot of clean hits. I had that flexibility to get in and out quicker and just not get emotionally too caught up with any one trade. So I did the same thing today, and boom, we had another nice big green day. Super stoked about that. Really, I want to be talking about ENLV and also our secondary ticker SLDB, both of which had good opportunities at different times. I found SLDB was a little bit easier to trade. What I really liked about it, it was kind of like milking a stock that is just constantly trending upwards. It was just so consistent, beautiful moves to the upside, not like any home run trade, and then a healthy pullback. Move to the upside, healthy pullback. So once you identify that, you can get long. But at the open, I realized this ticker was a little bit sketchy. It was a little bit overextended, and that's when I stopped trading it until much later after the opening bell. And so I want to focus on one, how to avoid or how to milk a stock trending to the upside, and then two, how to avoid getting stuck when that move is over. So I think that's everything for right now. Yeah, let's go to the charts now, guys. Remember to drop a like if you enjoy the content. If you're totally new here, you want to learn more about swing trading, day trading, really specifically day trading. We do a lot of swing trading as well. Don't forget to subscribe. Let's go to the charts now. Boom, over here. And actually, let me turn this light down just a little bit. It's freaking crazy in here. Super bright. So yeah, here's the screen. Here's my trading screen. Sorry, just a quick little reminder, guys. This is like, I wake up at 6, and right now, local time, it's like 6 p.m. So it's been like a full work day over here already. Yeah, so P&L on the day, 533 on SLDB, 55 on ADES. We'll review that one as well very quickly. And then ENLV. Oh my God, I gotta say, I'm a little bit annoyed on this one overall. Like, I was up on it, I was down on it, I was up on it, I was down on it, and then I think like 2 more times that, and then eventually I was like, I'm just gonna wrap it up here because, yeah, I don't know. I was also having some TOS issues as well, so I was constantly getting stuck on this one on the wrong side. It is what it is. But yeah, in the last 2 days, we've had profits around $500. So, $2,000 in trading profits, which is sweet because if you go here just to our stats very quickly, I don't know if you are new here, you've never been in the channel, but let me quickly share my stats. This is for, actually, hold on, these stats are a little all over the place right now. So let me just quickly go back to September. Oh, okay, it already changed. I was like, wait, where's the date? Let's just quickly load September. And the reason I want to kind of do this is I've only been using Trade Journal now since, when did it launch? We did the beta launch in, I think it was like March or April. So a lot of this is very, very new here, but for the last 3 to 4 months, everything is actually a little bit longer than that, but we have, I think since like June, a lot of this is documented fully. So let's, so September, sorry, I'm getting totally off track here. So September, what I really want to highlight is the fact that our average position size was only around $3,000. So we were able to double our profit based on our average position size, which was really, really nice. Also, last month in September, we had pretty decent winning averages. So I was really, really stoked about that as well. A nice little, improvement from the month before, even though overall last month wasn't really that hot. But what I really want to be focusing on, and you guys know, is that in March, or no, sorry, man, I'm all over the place. In September, going into obviously now October, going into November, and then by the end of December, we want to have on average $10,000 position sizes. So ideally, our net profits were going to be increasing with our average position size. So when you have a $577 day with your average position size being around 3K, it's pretty nice. I'm pretty stoked about that. So let's go and talk about first. Let's talk about ENLV because this is the one giving us a lot of trouble today. And by the way, guys, if you don't know, right under the video description, I'm doing this now for every recap video, ENLV. There's timestamps. So if you want to go to a specific ticker when I'm recapping it, just go click on the timestamp. Click on the timestamp, and you will just zoom right over to it. I think I'm a little nervous right now because this is a unedited video, so I don't want to make any too big mistakes. Okay, so ENLV is an 8 million float Israel biotech with coronavirus trial results looking up really, really good, especially for severe to critical condition patients. So that's really good news overall for everyone, especially the company stock price. So what I like about this kind of catalyst is it's a micro, it's specific to the company, but also with a larger macro kind of trend. I don't really want to call Corona a trend, but it is something that's hot in the news, and that's really what I mean by kind of a macro trend. So it's just like so I'll talk about a company, let's say I don't know, BLNK or something. They're coming out with some sort of battery or some EV car, right? So it's micro news, and then in the larger macro trend, right? EV. Yeah, okay. So ENLV, this one long-term, a little bit suspicious here, a lot of selling off, and a lot of failed spikes to the upside. And knowing that, ENLV is having a hard time, I didn't really want to get super aggressive on ENLV, but I did know that this one had potential for some big bottom bounces around $10 because that's where big multi-month support and resistance are. So it was looking really, really good. And that's why I actually did this first trade here, and I ended up getting kind of a little bit skunked on this one. Bought here, was up like 3%, didn't take my profits because I wanted a secondary entry. Got that secondary entry, kind of closed here then on the retest of the 9 EMA. Could have done this trade. Had the 10% bounce here. Actually, my first trade on ENLV was way, way earlier. This was like, I think my first trade on the day, right around like 720 something, or 730 something. Anyway, what I liked about this one, at the time, we didn't know that this one was going to sell off so much. We had an idea based on the daily chart in the past, but I was like, okay, well, this one might have a little bit of upside potential, but at the same time, I was so on edge with ENLV just because we have seen this one sell off a lot. So I didn't really want to get super aggressive on this one pre-market. So I did a tiny trade here, just closed it. I mean, this was really ridiculously small trade. And then just, closed it. Anyway, into the open. I wanted to trade ENLV, but I only wanted to trade it on some sort of red to green move. That's why I accumulated here on this dip. This was one of my better trades on this one, and then I sold on the 9 EMA retest. This was a pretty good little trade. I was pretty happy about this one. I missed this pullback here to $10. I know Corey in the chat room, you nailed that one, and then it pops up here. It gets halted, and then it moves finally here 14 until it flushes back down. So that would have been probably the best trade on ENLV. So these were the two trades on ENLV. I think that was a winner. I had a really big, strong feeling that there was going to be a second retest of VWAP. That's this purple line on ENLV. So what I decided to do is I decided to start accumulating here at $10. At one point, I got kind of shaken out, and I sold at 9.97. And then literally after I get shaken out, I'm talking in the chat room. I'm like, okay, this is actually looking kind of good again. We're seeing support holding here. The sell volume is light, and literally as I go to get an order ready, this thing shoots up without me. It's 18%. Boom, I'm over here, FOMO central. But I'm like, you know what, ENLV, I don't really believe in this company. It's not that I don't believe in pretty much 99% of the companies we're day trading, right? But it's not about that. It's about, I don't believe in the chart pattern we're seeing. I don't believe in the daily chart. I don't believe in, the past moves we've seen on ENLV. I don't think that this move is going to hold VWAP. So what I decided to do was look for a quick trade here. I didn't want a continuation trade because I didn't think we would, break higher here. But I did have a really strong feeling we would bounce off of off of VWAP, which we did. But if you guys remember this in the live stream, check out the link. There's a live stream here on the top right. You can click on that button, it'll open up, and you can see the video to the live stream. But basically, click on that link and you can see this trade live. I timestamp it. I try to sell here for this pop to the upside. And then I trip over myself. I get a TOS issue. And before I notice, I couldn't get out of it. And I tried to take my profits, couldn't do it. And all of a sudden I'm stuck in this flush. Luckily I sell into the flush and I didn't, have to sell down here at 10.14. I sold at 10.79, but just a disaster of a trade. I tried to take profits. Like I knew this was going to happen. So that was that situation. Kind of ridiculous, but it could have been worse. I don't know. After that, I was a little bit butthurt on ENLV, and I just kind of let this one slide. But at the same time, I didn't really see a trade that I wanted anyway, so not a big deal. Will I trade ENLV again? No, probably not. I don't really see this one going anywhere. Maybe it's going to bounce off of 6, maybe 550. I don't know. To me, it's dead. I wouldn't swing trade this one. Okay, next ticker I want to quickly talk about ADES. The reason I want to talk about ADES is because we traded it, but I don't really think that this one is going to be kind of like your next big runner. Pretty much in a nutshell, 34 million float US biotech report to be bought. I don't know. I felt like this whole catalyst on ADES was just a little bit ridiculous. They had a report that they wanted to be bought. Wait, hold on. Fake news. That's not true. I just mixed up this company. ADES. Did I say 18 million float? Anyway, 18 million float, US pollution treatment company. Sorry about that, guys. It's a long trading day for me. Sometimes I mix it up. It's written right below AMAG I just read. So ADES, 18 million float, US pollution treatment company. They announced a 15-year carbon supply agreement with Cobalt Corp. Now that's a nicer catalyst, but at the same time, I still didn't want to trade this one, and I'll tell you why. Or I wasn't super stoked about this one, and that's because this 180-day moving average right here creating massive resistance. Not to mention probably some bigger resistance zones, kind of in this $7 area, and then again we had kind of a what's it called, a gap down area right around here as well. So we know that ADS is just huge resistance in this zone. So let's kind of pull this one up again and see what it looks like. So ADES was called out in the chat room. I was not looking at it at the time, but I did write it down on my watch list. Now I noticed we were, this was like, let's kind of go back here a little bit. I noticed that we had, a nice volume coming in here. We found support at VWAP in the 9 EMA. We were pulling up again. I think this is the time I noticed it, and we were just all watching in the chat room together. And then I was like, okay, well, it looks like it's in a strong upwards trend. We have huge resistance above, but I think it's going to at least attempt to break that resistance. And that's why on the next pullback, I actually bought there and then I sold right away for the move, for the break of 620, and I sold prematurely. And then, yeah, originally I said in this area that, maybe there's going to be another attempt to run 6 to 650 because that's another big resistance zone. But I find it so weak that I'm not going to trade it. If it does it, great, but I'm not going to trade it. So let's talk about SLDB. This is the main ticker we are trading today and the main profit, SLDB. This one was really cool. 26 million float, U.S. drug manufacturer company, and FDA lifts clinical hold. So apparently they were not able to continue one of their studies. The FDA put a hold on it and they lifted that today. So that's really good catalyst. Let's actually go here, scroll back a little bit, kind of get the whole bird's eye view from SLDA. Yeah, here we go. So SLDA has these really kind of clear, consistent resistance zones every every dollar or so. Very kind of prominent. You can see these really nice retests off of them. We have breakouts, we have pullbacks, we have retests. It's just very clear on SLDB. And what I noticed on SLDB pre-market was, okay, well, we had a big move here, but then we kind of had a really aggressive sell-off, 20% right away. But at the same time, this thing, kind of had a rounded bottom, right? We're right below big resistance, but, we're kind of like healthy trending up here with bigger volume coming in. So I ended up buying this one first trade, $3.6 thousand on this one. Actually, no, fake news. Sorry guys. First trade here, I remember this quick dip trade. I made like $60 off of it. This was really quick. I liked the EMA support, and then I sold on VWAP right away. And then we had a nice little rounded bottom. I actually thought at this point, SLDB, because it was a late morning gapper with not that much interest at first, I thought it was just going to die and go to Neverland. That's why I didn't look at any of this. But eventually we popped back into VWAP. I took my first trade. This was pretty solid. I did a second trade, similar setup here, but it didn't have follow through. I closed for break even. I did a second trade here, but you can see all these trades were small, like 5, 10, 15% base hits. And then, we pulled up here. I missed this entry, but I got this pullback. I took my profits here on a move higher. And then all of a sudden it was on the backside of the move. So I traded it like it was on the backside. Did a quick little dip buy here. Took, I don't know if this was like a scratch, I think. Oh yeah, a little profit. But you can see like SLDB was slowly trending to the upside. So what I was like thinking is, I don't really think we're going to get a blow away trade on this one. I got to be really, really careful, but it looks like, just taking some good risk reward trades. So buying on an uptrending stock closer to a moving average support, like the 9 EMA is a very popular one amongst day traders, to me was a really, really good way to trade SLDB. And so that's why we got this little pop here and all these other little pops. The VWAP is always one of the bigger confirmations, but at the same time, it sometimes fails. So the VWAP first pop isn't always my favorite, but I do typically trade it because it has, I don't know, one of the lead gappers of the day. There's a high chance of follow through. So let's kind of fast forward on this one a little bit. Let's go a little faster here. Another kind of nice consistent moves here. I don't know what I was doing at this point, but I was no longer watching this ticker. I eventually got this last pullback here. We didn't have a fall through. I think I had a small loss on this one. No, a scratch. I made like 1 cent a share on it, 1.5 cents a share. And at this point, SLDB, it was up like 100 and I don't know, 70% or something like that. It was like such a solid rally. And I was just like, when a ticker moves this consistently for this long pre-market, oftentimes the open just isn't that nice. Actually, the open ended up being one nice green candle spike to the upside, but then it sold off. It was getting halted. It was not really a company that I was like super stoked about trading. So I kind of let SLDB slide by, and I knew I was up pretty well on it, so I didn't want to give back my profits on all this chop. This was very, very choppy stuff here. Even this kind of bull flag setup here, I was like very weary about. I remember talking about on the chat. But yeah, 6-7% move. So if you bought a conservative entry here and you took a base hit, it could have worked. But if you're looking for blow away trades today, it was not the way to do it. So, understanding that stocks sometimes run up a little bit too much, especially by the time the open, you want to be a little bit weary about that. If a stock like ENLV has a long-term chart pattern that's not looking very good with big resistance right above it, so it doesn't have a lot of upside potential, we're always talking about, does it have a good daily chart? Is there room to run? With SLDB and ENLV, not really. There was a lot of resistance ahead. It was just constantly like big resistance zones. So both of these tickers you want to be a little bit careful about. And once you understand that, you avoid getting stuck. And that's what I was saying in the intro. We're going to want to talk about how to avoid getting stuck. When you notice those situations, just be a little bit careful and try to either avoid it altogether or understand it and then take your profits very, very quickly. And that's exactly what we're doing across the board today. We had nice little 2 trades here when SLDB went back above the 9 EMA. We bought this. This was a breakout trade, took profits very quickly. Then we bought another pullback trade, kind of support area. And then I sold right here on the break of 9 EMA again, took our profits. That was pretty sweet. Overall, this was a kind of a 9% retracement, maybe closer to like 8.5 or something. Retracement move after a big sell-off, a little bit of a bounce near big 4.5 multi-day support and resistance, right? And you could have traded this move several times actually. So yeah, I mean, that's a good way to do it as well. I love dip trades around big supports, one of my favorite setups. I think SLDB probably has the best opportunity for a secondary run. Right now it has 650 million dollar volume. That's huge. This one is very, very thickly traded today. The market cap is a little bit higher, but still really, really good to see this amount of energy in a ticker. Do I think it's going to be a multi-day runner? I don't know. It's really hard to say. It looks like it has a lot of dilution here, so I wouldn't be surprised if some offering came out and pushed this stock back down. I don't think I'm going to be trading it in terms of multi-day. It doesn't look like it has a macro trend behind it. It is holding its highs, so maybe there's going to be an afternoon run on this ticker. And if it does, I wouldn't be surprised maybe if it ran all the way up to like $8 or so. I don't know if we're going to see something into the 10 zone, but for now, it's holding its highs. So as long as it holds its highs and breaks back above VWAP, I would look to trade this again. I'm not going to trade it myself because I'm going to be offline. I'm not going to be trading anymore. I'm done for the day. But that would be a key thing to look for. Otherwise, I wouldn't touch this ticker. Otherwise, it probably will sell off here, maybe 3.5, have a little bounce, and then I don't know where it's going to go from there. But I don't think for me, I don't think I'm going to be seeing SLDB on tomorrow's watch list. That's my 2 cents. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to drop a like if you did. And if you're totally new here, don't forget to subscribe. I would love to see you again. Join the chat room if you want to learn more about day trading. It's always a good time there. It was super fun today, just so chill. All right, guys, till next time, stay safe, make some awesome trades. Ciao, ciao.